Pearl Girls. I've got an experiment going on, so I want you to be a part of it. Today is October 19th, 2024. This is day one of my experiment. If you've tuned into some of my old videos, I've done experiments before, kind of what happens with pearls are exposed to vinegar or bleach, or, I did a whole series of those, and this one's a little bit different. And the inspiration for this one is because I just got back from Japan, where I went to see a pearl farm in Japan and buy some gorgeous pearls for the Pearl Girls collection. I also went to Mikimoto Pearl Island, which is basically the birthplace of cultured pearls. And I thought it was really interesting because Mikimoto pearls are knotted on nylon. The Pearl Girls pearls are knotted on silk, which is sort of the traditional way to knot pearls. But there are pros and cons to nylon and to silk. The biggest con to silk is you have to really take better care of your pearls, which we all should take very good care of our pearls anyway. But if you shower with your pearls on silk, they typically stretch out. Or do they? So see, this is part of my experiment. What is the long-term impact of having your pearls knotted on nylon or knotted on silk? And, do they stretch out more? Do they get dirtier? Does the piece of jewelry start to break down? These are kind of the questions I'm proposing. And in order to answer them, I have two brand new bracelets. So I did two separate clasps so I could tell them apart. The silk thread is here on the bracelet with the sterling silver clasp. This clasp, which is actually a gold fill, so it's sort of like a gold plated clasp, and it has nylon. Now I think this is really interesting. So this was sort of the first observation I had is sometimes, so I'm going to tilt my wrist like that. Sometimes nylon, because it doesn't have as much flexibility to it as silk does, it can have more of a bunched look to it. Now, I always say when you have freshly knotted pieces of jewelry, they can look bunched. That just because they've been knotted tightly. Let me finish my thought. Over time, literally within wearing it one or two times, that bunching should fall out. If it doesn't, that means that the thread is too thick and just really the bracelet or the necklace wasn't done correctly. That's something we pay a lot of attention to here at the Pearl Girls. But I did notice on my piece, the initial, so this is the silk bracelet here, and it has a really nice flow to it. This one looks initially a little bunchy, but we'll see. Here is my plan. I'm going to not take off these bracelets. I'm going to sleep in them. I'm going to shower in them. Since it's fall, I probably won't be swimming very much, but my plan is to wear these, and I'm gonna check in with you, and we're gonna watch if they stretch out, if they look any different over time, and we're gonna have a good comparison of pearls knotted on nylon versus pearls knotted on silk. Stay tuned. Okay. Hey y'all, it's India Rose. I wanted to update you on my experiment. So since I shot the very first video, I have literally not taken off these two bracelets. And it was funny because somebody came in the shop and they were like, oh, look at your bracelets. And I told her, yeah, I'm doing this experiment and I haven't taken them off. And she was like, oh, India, but you tell us, always take off your pearls and take care of your pearls. And so I kind of laughed. I'm like, it's true. I am going against everything I tell y'all all the time. Like, keep your pearls safe, put them in a safe location, nice soft bag. Don't work out in your pearls. Don't shower in your pearls. Don't swim in your pearls. All those things. Yes, I am breaking all of my rules, but I wanted to accelerate sort of the breakdown process, the wear process. I mean, if I were to do this experiment and take off these bracelets every night and put them on after I'm ready for my day, right, we wouldn't be able to really see the comparison between this nylon and silk. So I wanted to show y'all, and I'm not going to take them off, but look at this. I thought this was so interesting. Now, like I said, I get these wet. In fact, I sweat a lot. I work out and I run on the treadmill, which really gets annoying, that sensation. But imagine, it's a lot of wear and tear on these bracelets. So running, lifting weights, exercising, showering, sleeping, everything in these bracelets. So if you will notice, remember how we started out, they were the exact same length, 7.5 inches, but the silk one, look at how much it is stretched out more than the nylon one. It's just really fascinating. Silk stretches when wet. So I want y'all to remember that. If anything, that's a great takeaway. In terms of wear and tear, I've got my glasses, so let's look at them. If you will see, look at that. Look at the gaps in between these knots. And some of them are wiggly. That's all because of the stretching. And as we know, when our pearls start stretching out, that's when dirt can get in those knots. Now I want to show you the contrast of the nylon. The nylon is staying tighter. Now, I did notice, and let me see if you can see that. See that little teeny fray? I did notice there was a little fraying on the nylon. So if y'all have watched my other videos, that's where the last knot is, in between those last two pearls. Abby, when she knots them, the bracelet, she comes back through the clasp, knot. So puts the final two knots right there. So it's fraying a little bit. Now again, this is just our own experiment, so we'll see what that means. But is it possible that nylon frays easier than silk? That's one of my questions. And then the other thing is, I think we've definitely confirmed silk is going to stretch out when it's wet. So today is November 5th. Let me check. Yeah, today's November 5th. And so I'm going to check back in with you in a little bit, and we'll just keep watching the bracelets and how they do, my big experiment here. All right, India from the Pearl Girls. See y'all soon. Hey y'all, it's India at the Pearl Girls. I've rearranged my office some, kind of. I'm still in the process, and it just feels like a mess. So I think I'm gonna create something a little more interesting behind me. But for now, here's where I am, and what I'm doing today is completing this experiment. So as y'all see, I still have on my two bracelets. They're starting to drive me crazy. Today is December 1st. I have not taken them off for this entire experiment. And I thought it would be fun. To measure how much the silk one has stretched. So I'm pretty much going to call it, our big difference here in our nylon and our silk is that the silk clearly stretches out a whole bunch more than the nylon. And in terms of overall wear, I still feel like the nylon, I'm gonna take these off. Y'all are gonna witness it. This is the first time they've come off in this entire time. Okay, see how the nylon has that thread, that little, it's almost like, I wonder, and again, this is just my experiment and my hypothesis, but I wonder if nylon frays a bit more than silk. I think that would kind of make sense. But I had Abby make these at 7.5 inches. So I thought it'd be interesting to measure them. So it looks like this nylon, it's really about, maybe between 7.5 and 7 3/4. So it really hasn't stretched, I'm gonna say, at all. And if it has, it's been minuscule. But I want to measure this one because this is super fascinating to me, how much this silk has stretched out. Yeah, so this silk one is about, let me see, it's literally 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch longer than the one on nylon. So this one is about 8 to 8 1/4 inches long. So that stretched out quite a bit, 1/2 an inch to 3/4 of an inch. So my takeaway here is, first of all, silk is definitely going to stretch more. I do wonder if nylon is going to be our sturdier solution for those beads that are just very heavy, you know, that are naturally going to stretch it out. Now, clearly this silk stretched because I was running, showering, in the sauna. I mean, I did everything. Slept. I mean, I did not take off these bracelets until today, December 1st. So first of all, that's just not the way to treat your pearls, right? So you want to take them off. You don't want to shower in them. I think as long as you keep up with your pearls and maintain them, you're not going to experience this. But I do think this is just a good word of caution. A, take care of your pearls. B, nothing horrible happened, right, to these. I mean, I'm still got bracelets, so it's not like doom and gloom and my pearls are destroyed. However, that became uncomfortable for me to wear such a loose bracelet. So I think that's another thing, just in terms of personal preference. And, you know, obviously, the reason we knot pearls is to keep them from bumping into each other. You just got to take care of the actual pearl. So I think we've got two things going on. It would lead to the eventual degradation of these pearls, not to have good knots, to have dirt, to wear them in the shower and in the sauna and exercising and all of that. That's just gonna like put more acids from your skin on the pearls. It's gonna get more dirt on the pearls. It's gonna stretch out the knots that'll break down the pearls. So kind of our long-term plan would be foiled a bit, you know, if we want to keep up with our pearls. If we're not as worried about our pearls, if they're kind of our just like fashion pearls and not our nice pearls that you're wearing, that might be something, you know, you want to consider. But in terms of the Pearl Girls pearls, I want you all to take care of them because they're very, very special. And I wonder how long it would take. I do think, again, wearing it like this will accelerate the breakdown of the silk. So we know it has stretched out. It's still completely intact. It's still a fine bracelet to wear, but I do think wearing it like this and not taking good care of it will lead to the bracelet eventually breaking, right? If I continued to have this process go, I don't know what the timeline would be on it, but that would eventually break. But it's kind of funny. I sometimes want to say to the people next to me at the gym, like, this is part of an experiment, because I'm sure some people are like, really, Pearl Girl? Really? You have to wear pearl bracelets when you're working out? And yeah, the answer is yes. And a lot of times I just wear my pearl studs. But, so that is my experiment. Thanks for tuning in. This is so fun. Y'all know I love doing these videos. So talk to y'all real soon. Bye.